So I'm just going to walk quickly through the history just so people can understand what people were trying to do, even though the future uses are different. The developers around Bitcoin did have a chance to build these types of dApps on top of Bitcoin blockchain, but they didn't. Vitalik approached them, Vitalik Buterin approached them, and they took a pass. But they did start with it. They did this name coin thing, and then they realized, they're programmers. So they realized you could attach metadata, you could attach all sorts of things. Some of these coins have huge value, but it's really pretty much historical value. In fact, the first game was launched on the Bitcoin blockchain, and it's still active today. In 2016, Vitalik, I think he went to the Bitcoin conference in Miami, and I think it was 2014, and a bunch of them ran a house in Miami and started working on this project. A lot of those founders, if one founded Cardano, it's like they just kind of splintered off, almost like the people in Stanford founded all these companies after World War II and the education. And so it was kind of like one of these, where all your alumni are founding Bitcoin companies, and that's what Ethereum was. But they had some really fundamental breakthrough concepts from that house. And one was smart contracts. They invented the smart contract that we've been talking about. I haven't included the other ones here, but also ICOs and DAOs were all Ethereum's innovations. Ethereum had the first NFT on their blockchain, and then things started to go wild. CryptoPunks kicked off this kind of collectible thing. You'll see even now in the ecosystem, there's this sort of overlap between collectibles and graphic arts, which are kind of the lower art forms, and high art, and then utility and advertising and so on. But it kind of started with these collectibles and graphic arts, because when you think about it, it's the first time that graphic arts were able to be registered. Ownership was registered. So they could just be copied unless you sent in a copyright, which is difficult to do. It takes 2 months and nobody does it. So people got really interested in this. Then CryptoPunks really got into the cultural scene. Then you had Top Shots. I left that out, but that little map in there, you also had this first little real estate community. Whenever you see this little blue weird face, that's CryptoPunks. That's based on the London punk scene. You still see it today. Everybody wants to have their little checkerboard, little digital face. And then, this sort of bottom thing that's Top Shots, where the NBA got into the scene, and they were replicating those collectible decks. So you can buy a whole pack, but it's digitally recorded. So if the cards are lost or destroyed or whatever, they can still gain value because you've got this deck. It makes a lot of sense. And 2017, OpenSea also launched, just to give you an idea. And then fast forward, last year was the big year where everything went wild. So first you had a $60 million sale. Let's just say that the buyer was also a market maker, but they succeeded because everything started going up. CryptoPunks original collection sold for millions. Now you got the fine art world getting into this digital graphic world, which they hadn't really done before in this sort of way. Then you had the celebrity, the Twitter founder, who sold his first tweet, and the Bored Apes. So now this whole FOMO thing is rising to the top.